So, all right, go ahead, fix yourself. Make sure you're good.
Okay, I know I look haggard, but whatever. I just got home.
Okay. All right. So this is how it works. So this is how a spirit communication session works. So whenever I open up to the spirit world, even though we are going to try to connect to a specific person, it doesn't mean that's the first person that's going to come through, or that they may be the strongest person that communicates. And so what will happen is, as soon as I receive the communication, the first bits of information are either going to validate that it's this person, or it's going to indicate that it might be somebody else. And if it is somebody else, we just need to open up to the potential that it could be somebody else. And
Okay.
sometimes that somebody else, whether they're related to you or not, could help us connect and bridge the connection to the other individual. And so the way they communicate is, it's not like I see them the way I see you or hear them the way that I hear you. It's all mind and telepathic. So they don't speak with words or sentences. That's not how they communicate. They use thoughts, feelings, ideas, emotions, and memories. So if they want me to say I love you, they bring up the feeling of I love you within me from a memory or experience that I've had. So that's how they communicate. They may show me a sign or a symbol that I'm familiar with because I've seen it so often, and I may go to the meaning to that of that. They may show me a sign or symbol that I'm not familiar with, and if that happens, then I will simply share it with you anyways, in case you may understand what they're referring to or what they're talking about. I don't see everything that is happening in your life. I only get what they are sharing with me. So whatever they share is basically the end of what I know about what they're sharing. So if there's any circumstances surrounding an event or the situation, I may not be privy to all of those details, only what they're really giving me. Um,
Okay.
so, with that being said, sometimes spirits do like to communicate at the same time. So, if we get a hold of more than one, there may be more than one trying to communicate simultaneously, and that can get a little complicated. And I try to get them to split up so that way we can just do one on one. So, with that being said, because this is recorded, there are things you are not going to catch in the moment, and that is okay. That is normal. So, you may have to go back over and ask people about some of the things you couldn't understand, because they may be able to validate that for you. Okay?
Okay.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so with that being said, I've got the picture. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up really quickly so I can get this in my view. All right, and what is this gentleman's first name?
What? The my dad,
Yeah. Yeah, what's his first name?
Albert.
Albert. Okay, so let me. Okay, so let me. So as I'm trying to connect with Albert, I actually have two males that come forward. So there's actually two males there that are significant. So two males come forward. I definitely feel like Albert's one, and I feel like the other one is also connected to Albert. So there is a connection to
Okay.
him. Um, is Albert's father, your grandfather, also deceased?
Yes.
Okay, so I think Albert's father is with them. So he comes forward with the father figure. Do you know if there was a disconnect with him in life where they didn't really have a connection, or, I mean, a relationship?
Um. Yeah, I know my grandpa was an alcoholic,
Okay, so
and he was kind of abusive.
Okay, so your father is acknowledging he's doing this with the hands. So he's acknowledging that they are working on it or making peace. So he's acknowledging that they've got it's better now. So he's acknowledging that there's another male coming in. Wow, there's a lot of guys. There's another male coming in. So there's an additional male that's wanting to come in. This Whoa, okay, wait. I'm not ready for you yet. Okay, this one's a younger male. And I'll get to him. I'll get back to him because I'm going to hold the connection to Albert. Okay, so as I'm
Okay.
tuning to your dad, okay, got it. He is pointing to the neck, so he's acknowledging something with the neck area. Now I don't know if this means an issue with the neck or if he's acknowledging like a necklace, but he's acknowledging this area for some reason. Um, there wasn't any issue with his neck or the throat area with his passing, was there? Okay,
No, he had a
that's okay.
bladder cancer, but
Don't tell
he
me too
did
much.
have
But
some.
yeah, don't tell me too
Sorry.
much. But okay, he is pointing to the neck. So either, like I said, it either has something to do with his passing, or there's something that would be worn around the neck that he's being referencing. Okay. Um,
Okay.
He says you two have a lot in common, is how he puts it. Like, you two have a lot in common. Was your dad kind of the oddball out?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you the oddball out in your family?
Um, I wouldn't say I'm the oddball out, but I kind of do whatever I feel like doing.
Okay. So he
I don't
calls
really.
himself crazy and he calls you crazy. So he's acknowledging that both of you being crazy. So he says, we got a lot in common.
Okay.
And it's funny because he's like, you think you got jokes? I got jokes. And he's laughing. So he says that there's a connection with your comedy or their sense of humor, and you and he is
Okay.
how he puts that. He also talks about, it's funny because I felt like he was trying to come through a little earlier when I was getting ready for the session. And I almost felt like he was showing me a musical instrument. So do you know if he ever played music?
Hmm.
Okay. Do you know if he ever wanted to go further with that, but he never did?
Probably.
Okay. Because
Um.
because he's showing me a musical instrument, and it's almost like he wanted to go further with that, or there were dreams. But he's like saying, he's telling you, you have the potential to reach your dreams. He says, I didn't make it, but you do. So he's acknowledging that. He wants to acknowledge. He says he's trying to push you in the direction of fulfilling what it is that you're trying to do for yourself. He's repeating his name. So is there another Albert in the family? Because he is repeating his name.
Like a way back,
Okay.
way back,
Oh, it's okay.
probably.
So he's acknowledging another Albert in the family. Um,
Well, my nephew's middle name is Albert.
that's it. So that's what he's acknowledging because he repeated his name, and that's usually whenever someone's named after someone or there's another person with the name. So he's acknowledging that. Now, did he go by Al and not Albert?
Yeah.
Okay, because he's calling himself Al. He's not calling himself. He don't like Albert. So he's acknowledging Al and not Albert. Um,
Oh, well, my sister is named Allie.
oh, okay. That might be the other AL as well. So that might also be the reference there. Okay. Okay. He is taking responsibility for his own passing. Now, whenever they do this, it means that they either committed suicide or they allowed themselves to get to this point, or they caused their own passing. So he does take responsibility for his own passing. And he wants to take responsibility for a lot more than just the passing. So he wants you to understand that. Were he and your mom not always together, or were there were times where they weren't together?
Um, no, not physically. Well, not necessarily physically, but they never separated. But there were times I
Where they
think that.
weren't together. Yeah, because he makes me feel like it was not easy, that they sometimes would not get along and they would have to spend some time apart, and that's how he puts it.
Yeah.
And so he's aware of that. He also does not. Do you know if somebody was trying to do something? Okay, this is what he's showing me to help you understand what it is he's showing me. My cousin's father's family, which is a massive family, but every year they celebrate their parents' like either anniversary or their birthdays, but they celebrate it as a family. And I think they started to do this a few years ago. Do you know if there was an intent or someone in the family tried to get people together on either his birthday or a special date that was associated with him?
Um, no,
It's
I
all,
may have.
he says it was almost like there was an attempt to try to have like a reunion and include him or something connected to him, but it almost either didn't happen as well or just kind of fell apart.
Um, well, we had a reunion, a small one, like a Thanksgiving a couple of years ago, and not everybody showed up.
Okay,
So
got
maybe
it.
that was.
That's okay. Ooh, I'm smelling smoke. Do you know if he smoked?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, because
a lot.
I'm smelling tons of smoke. So
So he's still smoking.
yes, that they're free there. They don't tax him on the cigarettes there, so he can have as many as he wants. Um,
Oh, good.
Got it. He's showing me my uncle. My uncle actually his liver and his liver and kidneys failed, but it's almost as if he had cirrhosis of the liver, or the fluid started to fill the stomach and it started to expand. Do you know if he had issues where they had to drain out his fluid, or there was like this draining of the fluid that had to happen?
He had a colostomy bag. from
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because he's acknowledging the bag. Was there a time that you were angry with him, but you're not there anymore? It's almost like you were at some point because of certain issues, but it's almost like since then you've kind of worked past that.
Yeah,
Okay, because
definitely.
he
I
says
mean,
he's aware that you were at some point angry, and you sense he calls it forgiveness, like you've forgiven me. So he's acknowledging the forgiveness that's happened there. Um, do you know if he or his father were fishermen or like to fish? Because I'm seeing fishing associated with one of them.
um, the only thing I know is that my granddad was a longshoreman. That's the only thing I know, that he was near
What's
the
a
water for.
oh? So he worked around the water.
Yeah, he worked at the port of
Oh,
Houston.
okay. Because I was wondering. Okay, because I was seeing whenever we go to Galveston, I was seeing the what is it called? The piers, and I was trying to figure out why I was seeing the water piers. Okay, um, he's signifying something significant with a bird, and he's making me aware that a bird is a symbol for him, or is there something significant about a bird? So there's
Yeah.
something. Okay, what is this?
One of that Bob Marley song, Three Little Birds, that was his favorite song.
Okay, so he's acknowledging the significance of bird with him. Do you also know? Okay. Do you also know there's a piece of artwork or something art related that also has something bird related to it as well? As you're saying that, it would not surprise me if someone went and got a tattoo of a bird. It's weird, but it's almost like a representation or an artistic representation.
I think my sister does have a bird, or she wanted to get a bird tattoo,
Okay.
because I don't have any tattoos.
Okay. So he's acknowledging because he's showing me a piece of art or something that has got a bird that's also affiliated or connected to him as well. Um,
Mm.
has this been like a long time since he's been passed? Has this been like 5+ years since he's been gone?
17,
Wow.
almost.
Okay. Because he makes me feel like this was a long time ago. He also makes me feel, got it. He's aware of the children, so he does want you to know that does know that your children exist. He also is
Okay.
doing this. This is my symbol for a child lost. So either there was a miscarriage or termination, or someone lost a child, and he's aware of this as well. Are you aware of this?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was before he passed, though, I
Okay.
think.
Oh,
Well, yeah.
that's okay. Whether it was before or after, he is still acknowledging or he's referencing this. Actually, this may have happened more than once and with more than one person. So, are you aware of this more than once or more than one person?
Um, no, I mean, it could have happened and I don't know about it.
Okay, just no, because he's doing this. So he's showing me twice. So either this happened
Mm.
more than once, or there was a twice association to this. So
Okay.
he's doing that, but he is acknowledging that. That's got it. Okay. He's doing something interesting. He's showing me. Actually, I just went to see Beauty and the Beast, and he's showing me the rose from Beauty and the Beast, and he's handing the rose over to you. So I don't know what the significance of giving you a rose or a rose with, but he's doing that. Do you understand that?
Um, I know he fell asleep in that movie.
And Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah, when he took me to go see it,
and
when it first came, when the cartoon came out, he went to sleep.
oh, so
But I don't
You
know.
went to see Beauty and the Beast with your dad?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay, that might be what he's referring to then, because he just reminded me of because I thought I was just seeing a regular rose. I'm like, okay, what's so great about a rose? Then he took me to the Beauty and the Beast movie, which just came out, and I was just there like a couple of days ago, and he was showing me being in the theater and the movie and the rose. I'm like, what's the significance? So he was just connecting it with you. So I think he's wanting to acknowledge that bond you two have and that special
Hmm.
time where you two would bond and spend some time together, regardless of if he fell asleep or not. It's special or it's important to him, and it means something to him. So he's acknowledging that.
Okay. Well, that's good. You know, oh, I'm not going to say too much, but yeah, that's good.
He's also putting a crown on my head. So, do you know if he actually referred to someone as princess or called someone by like let's call it like no, it's like queen or princess. Someone that's got a nickname by of queen or princess.
Mm, not that I recall.
I'm seeing Prince now. He's referring to Prince actually. He's showing me Prince. What's the connection with him and Prince? It's gonna sound funny, but remember the singer
Like the Purple
Prince,
Rain?
like Purple Rain guy? Yes. Why is he showing me Prince? He's because I thought, what am I seeing? He was showing me.
Oh, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is that I have a new record player, but I have his record.
You have,
And I listen to Purple Rain on the record player. That's the only thing I
and
can
that's
think
his
of.
record.
No, that one's not his record, but
Okay,
I
you.
play his records
Oh, you
regularly.
got it. Okay, so I think that might be what he's because he was trying to put it. I'm like, what are you putting a crown on my head? And then I saw Prince, so he was acknowledging that. Which is why I wrote down purple because I was starting to write Purple Rain. So he's showing me that. So I think that's where he was trying to take me. Um,
Me and Michaela just sang that in the car, actually.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
So I think he's just trying to acknowledge that he's like with you and he's seeing what's going on. Um, he says you're a good mom. You need to give yourself more credit. So he's acknowledging that. He says you don't give yourself enough credit for being the kind of mom that you are. Um, He says you don't need
Okay.
anyone. He says you don't need anyone. You got it all on your. He says you got it all yourself. You don't need anybody. So he's acknowledging that. I know sometimes I don't know if your daughter doesn't have a relationship with her father or if there's just this disconnect there. But he says she is all you need, and I've seen it. She is all you need. So he wants to acknowledge that for you. Um, he is doing this, and this is my acknowledgement for either someone had they didn't have the ability to communicate or say goodbye right before they passed. So he's
Yes.
acknowledging that as well.
That
He's
is, I wanted to say that he had tubing. I think a lot of his throat wasn't. He couldn't talk
yeah,
really,
yeah,
basically, and so I talked to him, but he couldn't say anything back to me.
yeah,
So that's probably exactly what
yeah.
that
But
is.
he remembers the writing. So did you guys used to write notes or write something for him?
He, um, man, I think maybe he did have a little notepad at
Yeah,
the
because he
end.
says he was writing stuff. There was a writing stuff that he said,
Okay, I think
and
I don't know why I would have blocked that out, but I
okay.
think maybe.
That's okay. Yeah, because he's showing me this too. It's almost like also the TV has to be on a certain channel for a certain time because of the programming. So it's almost like instructions on the thing for TV to be on a certain time. So he's acknowledging that. Um, your father was cremated.
No, we buried him.
Okay, it's gonna sound weird, but do you have a lock of his hair?
We do have some. They're all over all of our storage.
Really? Okay. So
Yeah,
he's showing me
because he
that you
had
have.
dreadlocks.
Okay. You what?
He had dreadlocks,
Oh, so
so
you
they
have you.
everywhere.
Oh, got it. Okay, so he's acknowledging like you have his hair. So because I was seeing pieces of him still here, and I'm like, why? I assumed it was that, but okay. Um, he's showing me you and your daughter, and he's doing this, and then he's showing me the sunshine song. So it's almost like sunshine, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. But he's singing that for me. So I don't know if there's just a special thing with you and your daughter in that song, or if there was something that you yeah, I'm seeing a cloudy sky and you are my sunshine, my golden sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never. That's what I'm hearing in my head. So I don't know if he ever sang that with you or if you sang that to with your daughter, but he's acknowledging that song. Um, and I'm also seeing a rainbow at the same time. So I don't know if he's acknowledging. Did you see a rainbow and think that it was from your father?
Mm, probably not recently.
It's okay. You're gonna have to think back to this. He's showing me a rainbow, and I'm seeing the sky, I'm seeing a rainbow, and then he's singing that song for me. So I'm like, you are my sunshine, my only sunshine. So he's acknowledging that. So you might need to, yeah, he's showing me a picture of a sun now. So he's going back around in loops because he's wanting to. Either I'm effing it up and I'm not getting the whole message, or there's something that he's trying to communicate and I'm only getting parts of it. He's specifically showing me a picture of a sun, so he's acknowledging sun, 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 sun. So, um, you have a brother, right?
I don't have any
Okay.
brothers. Well, no, no, I don't.
The only thing that would think is sun, sun, sun means sun, 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 but he's actually showing me a sun. Um, Because now I'm thinking of that, the Jimmy Dean commercial with the guy dressed like a sun and he's walking. That's what I'm seeing. So I'm like, why am I seeing that? So he's showing me that sun and he's acknowledging that. And I thought it was in reference to the song, and I still kind of do. But he's like showing me a sun for some reason.
Well, I mean, I have a son.
You have a son?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Was there ever a time where you and your son had a situation where there was a rainbow and there was conversation around what rainbows are about or what they mean or something?
I think so.
Okay, and then I'm hearing that song, "You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine." So I'm hearing that. Um,
Hmm.
it's okay. I'll leave that with you. He also says, got it. Did you just have a conversation? Well, he saw the text messages about him. So he's acknowledging either the conversation that was had about him via text or something like this. I almost feel like this is recent. So did you just have a conversation about your dad or about his life right recently? Because he's acknowledging this, like he saw the text.
Mhm.
Okay.
Tell him get out of my business. Just kidding.
Okay. He's drawing for me now. Do you know if he ever was an artist or did art?
Um, I mean, there's a possibility.
He's,
Sometimes you don't know things about your parents.
yeah, he's drawing for me, and I almost feel like this is significant. So I don't know if he ever wanted to do art when he was younger, or there was art that he did, or something he painted that was kind of half-ass painted, but he's like showing me something like this. And it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, look at amazing. It's like, oh, they tried. But he's laughing about it, and he's showing this to me. So he's,
I'll ask my mom.
okay. Got it. He's also okay. There's another male. There's somebody else. I don't know. If this is for your dad or this is for the other male because there's another male trying to pop in for a second. Was there a weird situation that happened where there was like a light that was blinking, or I don't know. This was on a vehicle because you know what I'm saying. Whenever you're turning the turn signal and then there's a blinking that happens. He's showing this to me for some reason, but I almost feel like I'm fixating on the blinking of the light. So was there some weird situation that happened where there was a blinking of a light or there was flashes of light or something about light flickering that was just kind of weird?
Hmm. No.
Okay. Then I'm going to try this with this other. There's another male coming in, and I want to make sure that this is not from this other male. There's a younger male coming in. He also acknowledges that either he passed in a very sudden event or something that happened really, really quickly. It wasn't like a disease or something like that. Like he literally just died like really, really quickly. I also feel like this would have been an incident of some sort. So it would have been something like an accident or an incident that took his life. He's also acknowledging that he is showing me news or something to do with media. So either he was featured on a news program or there's something about a news thing that he's acknowledging. He's He's also talking about being represented, being represented, being represented. So there's some significance about him being represented. He's also showing me, like I said, I think this might be him, the blinking of the light or the flickering or the turning lane or whatever, because I feel like I'm flicking a light or turning the light switch or something and I'm turning. So he's acknowledging something about a vehicle related to this as well. Um,
Well, the I think maybe my cousin's husband, he passed, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but I think he drove my dad's truck,
uh-huh.
and I think he had an aneurysm while he was driving, if I can remember correctly. But he also used to work on our cars.
Okay.
Like it was pretty sudden, but
Yeah. Do you know if he also passed near a holiday? Because I feel like there's a special event coming up, but it feels like a holiday type situation. So it would have been around a holiday event of some sort.
which one?
The cousin, the cousin's husband.
I can't remember. I
Okay.
wish I remembered more about
No,
that.
it's okay. That's why you're gonna go checking and you're gonna write me an email or you're gonna tell me what the heck happened because he's acknowledging something about a holiday around the time that he passed and how there was a somber event right afterwards. So he's showing that to me. And let's assume this is him. He's also repeating. He's repeating his name. So he is acknowledging that there is someone named after him or someone used his name. So is he not the only person in the family, his family, with his name?
Um, I don't know. Oh gosh.
And they're also acknowledging a dog being there as well. So there's like a dog that's also there with actually there's two dogs. So there's acknowledgement there being two dogs that there may have been in that side of the family. Um, it's funny because I'm hearing yelling about the mutts or whatever. So they either collected mutts or there was mutts that they had, but there was these dogs that they had. Um,
I'm like so perplexed.
that's
I'm like,
okay.
let me see.
Uh,
Oh.
it's gonna sound so crazy, but do you know if there was a horse on that side of the family as well?
Like someone that owned a horse?
Like either had a horse or something significant about a horse?
Yeah, my dad's sister bought my sister's kids a pony.
Okay, okay,
And like it was this lives on a ranch somewhere, but she bought it for them.
okay.
But like I'm trying to think who it would be that would be related to that group because that's not the same side, the one that I thought it was.
Yeah, and that's okay because they were talking about the horse as someone having a horse or getting a horse. So they were just, it's like, what, who buys someone a pony? Okay, so
It's crazy.
they're also showing me the letter V. So there's something significant about the letter V. I don't know if it's part of a name or there's a name associated with V, but they're also showing me the letter V that's associated with that as well. Um, I'm also hearing a lot of country music, so I don't know if somebody really liked country music on that side, or there was a country music like wannabe on that side. There's like country music that I'm hearing coming from that angle, so they're acknowledging something there because I'm hearing country music.
I'm so confused because I'm trying desperately to think of who this might
Mhm.
be. Huh.
Would this be your mom's side of the family?
Could be.
Okay.
Um. Uh.
Do you know if somebody? I almost feel like someone was married into the family, and this would be a connection where someone married into the family, and this is somehow connected or tied up to that part, that direction, because they're taking me to your mom, and then they're leading me in that direction.
Well, the one who I thought it was initially, he married in,
Okay.
and I think maybe he. I'll have to do some research because it
Yes,
might.
ma'am. Yeah.
But
Um,
the horse thing threw me off because the horse is from a different side.
side. That's okay. If you got more than one family member up there, so they could sometimes. try to
They
talk at
just
the same
can't
time.
wait.
Yeah. So they're like, he's already slowing down. Let's get in on his stuff while we got him. So your dad's energy is kind of lessened, and then these people have come in and started trying to take over the session. Um, your dad's laughing. He's like, is how is this different from what's normal in the family? So he's acknowledging that.
Yeah.
I'm asking him if there's anything else he'd like to. Would you like to ask him anything before I let him go?
Um, no, I guess not. I mean, he's. I heard what I would have wanted to, which would have been that he acknowledged,
And stuff.
that
Yeah.
he didn't do what he should have done, and then it felt good for him to say that I was doing it pretty good at parenting because that's like my
Yeah.
number one place where I'm like, oh, I'm failing, but I think I'm okay.
Got it. He's also talking about the ketchup bottles. Do you know if someone collected ketchup bottles or there was some sort of ketchup? Because I feel like I'm seeing lots of little ketchup or ketchup everywhere. Um, so there's something funny about ketchup.
Um, I know there was one time where I dropped a whole jar of mayonnaise and I got in trouble.
No, this is
That's the
cat.
only thing I could think of with condiments.
I almost am seeing ketchup everywhere, unless you put ketchup on everything or he put ketchup on everything. But I'm seeing ketchup, and it's almost like there being a lot of ketchup, or someone, you know how some people used to collect those little bitty bottles of mini ketchups or whatever. I almost have seen like something like that. So there's something significant there as well that he's acknowledging.
Hmm. No.
Okay, he's pulling back. Um, he says to say hello to your mother.
Okay.
He says to tell her she was the best thing that ever happened to him, and he's sorry,
Aww.
and he wants to make sure she knows that. He's also acknowledging anniversary date. So I don't know, we're right around the time they would have been married because he's acknowledging an anniversary date as well, and he wants to let her
Yeah.
know that. He also wants her to know um, he still owes her. So I don't know if she used to be the provider in the family, but he's acknowledging like he owes her. So he's acknowledging that.
Yeah. I get it.
He's also talking. He is pointing to the financial stuff, and he's like, so I'm assuming there were financial issues with him because he's doing that. Like, what can you do? But he's acknowledging that as well. Um,
Yeah.
he says they. He says you don't. He says you don't know how much interest they charge you up here. You know, it's almost like he's got all this interest charged on his debts, and he's like, well, I got to pay it back in some form or fashion. So he's acknowledging that.
Okay. I'll tell her.
Okay, he's pulled back. All right.
Okay.
So just know that your dad is with you. He's going to continue to be with you. He can hear you. He knows that you are doing what you're doing because he's been seeing everything. So if you ever
Yeah.
want to talk to him, you just have to talk to him and he gets the message.
Okay.
Okay.
That's comforting.
All right. Okay. He's disconnected. Okay.